Hey everybody, welcome back to FableForge RPG. It's Friday night. Odyssey of the Dragonlords returns after a break for Thanksgiving holiday. We have a lot going on tonight. I hope everybody out here had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you checked out the previous stream, the beginning of the Hearts of Shadow campaign on Wednesday. If not, subs can look at it on Twitch. I'm going to be putting it on YouTube probably this weekend, but either way, you're not here for that. You're here for this. So thank you for coming back. We are going to go through a lot tonight. Next chapter is beginning. So I'm going to cut over to the intro video, and then we'll come back and play some Dungeons & Dragons, all right? See y'all then. All right, so welcome back. When we last left off, before what seems like a month ago to me, you had just concluded the trial of the century, or centuries, in Mitros, where the king and his associates were accusing you all of arson, murder, and treason. Thankfully, because of the persuasive influence of your own testimony, the questions and answers you gave, and the intelligent choices you made in the witnesses you brought along, apparently that was enough to sway this massive gathering, which culminated with the jury of this trial, saving you all from potentially seeing the dragon, to say the least. So, when we left off, the trial had reached its climactic conclusion. The people of Mitros in and around the courthouse rose up. They were singing your praises. They were coming in. They were rushing the altar in the middle, while Acastus and Tarkon and the other centurions there quickly and unceremoniously left the building. And you were essentially mobbed with good graces in the courthouse, and then all the way out the steps into the streets of the noble district of Mitros once more. That's where we are now. There is still a large number of people around you. Your friends are there, but people are starting to disperse, starting to be able to breathe again, and every now and then you still, from the corners echoing throughout the streets, hear cries of, "The Dragonlords have returned," and "Long live the heroes of the prophecy," and things of that nature everywhere you go. It's a jubilant day. It is a reckoning, for lack of a better term. As you begin to walk down the street, pondering your next move, Kira catches up with you, along with some of your other friends, but Kira gains your attention walking along the street. She turns to you and says, "Well, that was quite exciting." Well, as you may imagine, it seems as though Acastus did not like that too much. Rarely does Acastus expose himself to things like this, unless he believes he will truly come out on top. And very, very few have proven him wrong. Valis and I were talking, and we believe it's probably in your best interest to set sail on the next leg of your epic journey as quickly as possible, because we have every reason to believe that Acastus is probably quite upset with you and may even be plotting against you. Not sure what exactly he could do, but he is a king, for what that's worth. I've been keeping an eye on the Ultros and its progress being refitted and such with your friend Don. It seems like it's coming along nicely. I believe you probably have a week, maybe 2, depending on how fast you want to set sail and what all you want to be done with the Ultros. But either way, I urge you to hurry. I'll be spending my time at the palace and making my own preparations for things to be. And if you need anything, just find me. With that, she bows a bit, gives you a wink, turns, and gaily walks up the street, bouncing a little bit as she goes. So, what we have here is a block of downtime. We, players and DM, this is for the benefit of viewers and everything, we got together and we kind of planned a little bit of what they wanted to do during their downtime. So we're going to resolve that, we're going to have a little bit of fun with it, and see what happens from there. So, we agreed all on a week, I believe, and we're sticking with that, yes? Okay, so we're going to cut at a week. So you have 1 week, and you all gave me a list of things that you may like to do during this downtime. So, in whatever order y'all want, or I can pick, don't care. If anybody's really excited, you're welcome to go first. But your activity is going to take up the entire week. So I hope you chose well. Except for, I know we have a pit fighting thing that can just take an hour, so that's not a big deal. So, does anybody want to go first? Okay, Renatus. Renatus volunteers to go first. So, Renatus, what is it that you are planning on doing for this week?
This week, I'm going to practice and hopefully learn potion crafting.
Okay.
At the academy and go, meet and hang out and try to get in good with the academy locals and who works there and whatnot, and the scholars. And also, during this time, I know I have a spell book that I've got from that thing, so I'd like to try to learn a couple of those spells, maybe. I think once per day is what we talked about.
That is correct. All right. So, let us go ahead and see how you do with your spells first, so I don't get all miscombobulated here.
Okay.
All right. So, for each day, 7 days. For each day, you're gonna have to give me an Arcana check to see if you can decipher this former mage's arcane writings and learn the spell. If you already have the spell, let me know, and I'll give you a different one. All right?
Alrighty then.
All right. So, first Arcana check.
First Arcana check. 24.
24. Okay. And these are going to proceed from the least complex to the most complex. Okay? So, you already know the spell Detect Magic?
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Should probably just go to the other thing.
Yeah, D&D Beyond would be better because
Foundry
is only going to show you prepared spells, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yes, I do.
Okay. What about Mage Armor?
Yes.
Magic Missile?
I believe so. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Because it's not showing my whole spell list. I believe I'd have it, yes.
Yeah, you have to go to your spell book. It's a different thing. I can help you if you want.
I mean, if it's quick, I'm on D&D Beyond, I'm on spells. I just don't see the spell book itself.
Yep. Pulling up your sheet now to help you out. So, under spells,
Uh-huh.
you go to manage spells.
Right, I don't have that button. It's usually off on the right-hand side next to the scroll, right?
It's next to the search bar. You don't have manage spells?
Negative. That's why I was getting thrown off a little bit.
Okay, I'll look for you then. Alright, so let's see. The next up would be shield. It does not look like you do have shield. Misty step. You do not have
I don't think... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't have Misty Step.
So now you know Misty Step.
Sweet!
Alright, give me another Arcana check. This is number 2.
Alright, number 2. 11.
No good.
Alright, next one.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay. You learn the spell Suggestion.
Ooh. Alright, so that was 3. 24.
Real quick. Okay, you learn the spell Greater Invisibility.
Ooh. 20.
You learn the spell Ice Storm.
That's 5. 24.
There's one final spell that you have not been able to decipher. And it seems like, no matter how hard you rack your brain, you cannot yet comprehend the language of the glyphs.
Last one. 26.
Same effect.
Wow. All right. Well, that was all 7.
It was. Okay. So, now, to try and build a rapport with the amazing philosophers and wizards at the Academy, and to try and learn about potion crafting, this is the way this works. You have to obviously go there every day and spend a significant amount of time, so that's why it takes the whole week. Right. You're going to have to try and wine and dine and give them gifts and practice and use materials to do that. So, if you want to do this, it's going to cost you 250 gold.
Do I have 250 gold?
You may have 250 gold.
I have 250 gold.
All right. So, you do this, and you need to give me a persuasion check. If you are better at intelligence than charisma, and because of the nature of this and who you're talking to, you can use your intelligence. So persuasion really only matters here if you are proficient in persuasion. You could add your proficiency bonus to your intelligence.
So roll persuasion, but then add my proficiency bonus from my intelligence?
Let me rephrase it to help you out. Are you proficient in persuasion?
No.
Okay, then you just give me an intelligence check. You're still trying to persuade them, but you're using your mind and intelligence and arcane ability to do so.
Got you. $16.
16. Okay. So, based on your time there, you come under the tutelage of an individual that is known to, I think, the other members of your party, but not you yet, by the name of Chalcadon. He is an elf. He is he is a very high stature. He specializes in potions, and he is kind of a contact, a tutor of sorts, and you trade information. You have a great time together. You learn how to craft common potions. You learn how to craft uncommon potions. You gain proficiency with the herbalist's kit, and they also let you have an herbalist kit so you can practice and perfect your craft. I'm also going to share something with you in the player handouts called Potion Craft.
Sweet.
And you should see it there. Along with those things, you also now know how to craft the various potions of healing.
Awesome.
Okay. So, that wraps up it for you. So who's next? Anybody? You're on? Okay. So you're on, you want to do pit fighting. Do you want to resolve your research, or do you want to do the pit fighting thing? It's the kind of a you and Cyanus thing. Which one do you want to do first?
Maybe the research first, because I did also, I had a thought to tack onto it. I'm not sure if it's something I can do at the library, but maybe.
Let's spit it out real quick. Let's see.
There's this book. There's a book that the philosophers from that debate that we were in. They gave me a book. I believe mine was called Mathematica. I just want to find out if it's just a book on math or if there's something else to it.
Okay, so it's Chalcedon's Mathematica. And glancing through it, you can give me an intelligence check for that, but we'll resolve that. It's separately from the research thing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So give me an intelligence check for that, just to kind of try and understand it. And then we'll do your research.
That's a 20.
Okay. So, Chalcedon's Mathematica deals with the way that mathematical principles are present in all things. Math can be used to understand the very fabric of the world around you, as it pertains to arcane things specifically. You can use mathematical principles to gel with the ether and manipulate it. You feel like you know a little bit more about arcane knowledge now, and you also realize that perhaps if you were to also peruse the other 3 books that were gifted to your friends, you would gain a vast amount of arcane knowledge.
No.
Alright, so now for research, the way this works. 50 gold piece minimum, and that is for research materials, ink, a quill pen, parchment, etc. And also to gift to knowledgeable people in the library, get people to help you find stuff, bring you books, etc. So 50 GP minimum to start. Now, you're going to give me an intelligence check, and the result of that check is going to determine how many pieces of information you discover. If you want to buff your odds, you can spend bonus GP, 50 GP increments each. And each additional 50 GP you spend in bribes, gifts, etc. after the first will give you a +1 to your roll, up to +6.
Okay. Do I need to make the decision of how many buffs I'm going to do before I roll it, or can I roll and then see?
The rolling happens at the end of the week, so yes.
Okay. I'd like to add, this is me hoping I can make some money back later. Can I add 3?
Okay, so another 180 gold?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 150 gold. My math is... Wow. Wow.
So 200
it's Friday.
total.
Correct. 200 gold total. You got that, Treasurer? All right.
Thank you.
So, intelligence check, and whatever it is, add +3 to it.
So +3, that is a 16.
Okay. So, I know you gave me a list of things you wanted to research. There's 2 pieces of information you can find. Okay, you can either have 2 of them for one of the topics, or you can separate them and tell me which 2 topics you want 1 piece of information about.
Give me a moment to pull up the list of topics. I don't quite remember.
Amazons, Themis, Dragons and Dragon Eggs, Island of the Fates.
Let's go for island and anything on the Island of the Fates.
Okay.
And Yeah, something about Amazons. And ideally, the piece of information I'd love to try and find is basically if they take if they take prisoners at all, where would they keep them?
Okay. So, spending the week contacting, researching, etc. about the Island of the Fates, it is rumored, on good credit, that the Island of the Fates is the home of the lair of the Hags. It's another term for the Fates. Okay. They say that the lair of the Hags is guarded by cursed mortals who have broken their contracts with the Fates.
Okay.
And as far as the Amazons go, and talking about prisoners, there is a sacred temple that is the heart of Amazonian society on the island of Themis. They are known to take prisoners if they deem them important enough, which is kind of rare. But if they have any, they would be located within the sacred temple under close guard. Generally never to be heard from again.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, pit fighting. What we're going to do here is the buy-in is 25 GP for you to bet on to buy in, and then you're going to give me 3 skill checks, and we'll see if you win 1, 2, or 3 fights, and then I'll let you and Austin play with that for a little bit.
Okay.
Alright, so that's another 50 gold.
No, are you fighting too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bro. Okay. And
Well,
so what kind of checks?
If both of you win all 3, I'm going to make you fight it off, by the way. Just for the record.
Okay.
Not a full-blown fight, but a skill check contest. All right, so the first one, who's going to fight first? All right, so I need an athletics check. And Austin, you're going to help me out here. I need you to roll 2d10. So your on roll is a 19, and the DC for this was a 14, so you have 1 success.
Okay.
That's 50, let me make sure. That's 50 GP in your pocket. All right, next one is an acrobatics check. To dodge and weave.
Oh, no. Okay.
2d10 again, Austin. It's going to be for every check. And I'm going to let Ari roll against you. That was a 15. High. Roll again.
Roll again?
Yep. Both of y'all.
Ooh, dirty 20.
All right. 2 successes. That's another 100, so you're up to 150. All right,
Yeah.
last time.
What's the skill check?
This is going to be Constitution, except on top of that roll, you're going to add a D8 because you're a fighter.
Okay. Con check. Oof.
No, wait, hold on. Is it a fighter a D10 or D8? I think it's a D10.
Hit dice?
Yeah.
D10.
Okay, so you add 10, so you rolled a 20. So Austin, go ahead and roll. All right, so you win another 200 gold. So you win a total of 350 gold so far. All right, now we're going to flip the script. You roll 2d10 you're on. Austin, give me an athletics check. So you have to beat a 10, and you rolled a natural 1. So you lose 1 round. All right, another 2d10, Ari, and then an acrobatics check also. So you have to beat a 16. You rolled a 30. So you have 1 win for 50 gold pieces. All right, last round. So your Constitution check plus, I think rogues are a D8. Pretty sure they're a D8. All right, so you have to beat a 13. So it's going to be Constitution plus 8. So 16. So you win again. So you win a total of 150 gold pieces. Now, you guys have a little fun with this, play with this for a minute, and then we'll go over to the next person.
Oh god. I'm not used to that.
Well, you held up well.
Yeah, I mean, did you see that flip I did?
The one where you tried
Yeah,
to
you like
flip off
spin
and then
kick
you
and
landed
kick the guy
flat.
right in the chin.
I thought you were referring to the one where you tried to do the flip and then landed smack on your face and he curb stomped you.
What are you talking about? That never happened.
We're never telling them that happened, right? Is that the case here?
What happened?
Exactly. Okay. Good point. No one. Should everything go back to normal after this? I'm never telling anyone that this place exists. It's too much fun.
Yeah, let's
I heard.
Let's keep this the group's little secret, because sometimes I know I used to come down here to just blow off steam, and it's
Agreed. Although that password.
Look. Don't worry about the passwords.
Fist me harder?
No, stop. Don't say it out loud.
We're still in here.
Don't say it out loud.
What should I be saying?
Not out loud.
Should I add another word to the end of
No,
it?
you shouldn't.
Something to make it worse? Do you want me to try saying Zaddy at the end of it and see what happens?
Don't.
All right, and next up. All right, so Ina or Lycus, who wants to go? Either go.
Josh will go.
Okay, so your intent was to. Josh?
Can you hear me? Oh. Sorry. Yeah, I want to learn everything I can about the Mitros Dragon Order. Just because I view King Augustus as an imposter. And I'm more curious of where do the dragons sleep, how many of their numbers. Pretty much, since they're an extremely effective fighting force, I just want to know everything about them.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to be spending all my time to, just doing a whole bunch of recon.
All right. Well, two ways I can think of to do this. You can either seek information at the academy, or you could try and wine and dine people. And depending on which you pick, might impact the type of information you get. Either way, it's still going to fall under carousing because you're trying to recon.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'd be 250 gold.
I'm going to do wine and dine, because I feel like it'd be more personal. And
Actually, that would not be 250.
Bribery.
If you're going to, yeah, probably be more 100, because this is going to be a mix of upper echelon and soldiers, so we'll split the difference in the cost. So we'll say 100 gold.
Okay.
All right. And I need a persuasion check from you.
And you said it was alternate to...
For you, it'd just be straight persuasion, unless you're trying to do something besides wine and dine, but you're wine and dining.
No, it's a roll with advantage. Is it hold on alternate or?
Oh yeah, yes. Hold alt.
FableForge. Wow.
Okay.
That's an 8.
If you would like to improve your odds, to have some fun with it. If you want to spend the.
Oh, you know what? I think I felt lucky on that one.
Okay, there you go. Roll one more.
Yeah. Oh, look at 21.
There you go. All right, so that means that you can have 3 pieces of information. All right. So it is commonly believed that the dragons that make up the Order of the Dragonlords, including King Augustus' personal dragon. How can I put this?
They're on loan.
They arrived one day, basically out of nowhere, as wormlings. And contrary to all the fables and legends about dragons from the previous centuries, of them being born and raised, these dragons matured extremely fast. Almost startlingly fast. Okay. Number 2, King Acastus's dragon takes up residence at the Great Palace. He likes to reside in the courtyard, sitting on a pile of silver, and he does not seem opposed at all to speaking with people, to flaunt his silver, and is even known to give out small gifts to those who arrive, if they pay him due homage. Number 3. The Order of the Dragonlords does not seem to come from the most valiant warriors, or those that have come from the most noble classes or anything of that sort. It is very much a nepotistic group, in that if you earn enough King Cassus's favor, you become a Dragonlord. If you lose it, you stop being a Dragonlord and often are never heard from again. They have not fought in any significant battles. They have no real acclaim to their name, but they ride dragons, and that carries a lot of weight.
I'd love to wine and dine. I'd love to wine and dine one of the noble Dragonlords one day if possible. Kind of be like, what's it like? How's your dragon? Is he a bitch? Does he breathe fire?
Okay. So I'll say this. I'll say you can spend another 50 gold to do this.
Absolutely.
However,
my number guy will get you.
Fine. However, because of y'all's reputation and the relationship that you have with Acastus, this would normally be a disadvantage roll, so it'd be a flat roll for you.
Disguise. Magic.
You can disguise self? Can you do that? Or can anybody else do that for you? Or maybe wear a normal...
Disguise kit.
Wear
Diana, I need you to do this. I need you to make this, just do me like one of your figure models.
Paint you like one of our Stygian
like
girls.
one of your, like one of your sewer women.
I am going to call this a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I use that as a catch-all for doing really fine movements.
Oh, and I'm fine.
Hands. Yes, you are.
He is not fine. He isn't fine for shit.
Can you use lucky for somebody else?
Sure. I help him make me fine. I have a mirror.
Okay, he
so
can
like,
roll
whoa, that's not a cat eye, sir. That's a drunken man crying eye.
That's not a cat eye. That's a curb.
Okay, roll again.
It goes sweep the wing up. Sweep the wing. You fucking suck.
Look, I'm not used to doing this on other guys.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to try?
I'm not going to change the outcome.
Nah, yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay, so, however, even though...
They all the shit out of me. I got, like, super blushy cheekbones, bright fucking blue.
You stand out.
I look like a clown.
Well,
that forgot.
Lycus,
She was also moonlighting as a clown.
Charlatan.
Lycus, let me put it this way. I did say I'll make you up like one of our Stygian rogue girls.
Yeah.
Not the Hoppy's Nest, just Stygian rogue.
Yeah, I moonlight as a clown, apparently. I'm a clown hooker.
Alright, so give me a flat persuasion
I could offer that wig I have that he made me ages ago made of grass.
Why do you still have that?
In case I needed it.
Alright, what do we got?
Persuasion check.
Alright. I'm feeling lucky on that one.
Come on.
Okay, I need you to give me...
It was like 20.
I need you to give me one specific question that you would ask this Dragonlord.
Oh, I wasn't expected to be on the spot like this. Can I I come back to you on that?
You can. Let's jump over to Aina. So, Aina, you are going to train in essentially fighting and maneuvering on boats, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how this is going to work. Take the week. Okay, so you have a couple of options here, and the more money you put into it, like all these skill checks, the more likely you are to have more benefits. Okay, and it's still going to involve some rolls. So you can just, all right, these prices are going to seem kind of high, but that's because everybody's in town for the great games. There's all sorts of stuff going on. All right, so you can rent a small sloop that you can manage with one person or 2 people for 50 gold pieces for the week. Okay. Now, if you want to get someone to pilot it for you so you can focus on fighting and maneuvering on it, that is going to give you a benefit for your skill checks. That'll cost you another 150 gold pieces to rent out a pilot. Now, finally, if you want to get a former mercenary who has fought on ships before to help train you, and you can do those 2 things separately, that would also cost you 150 gold pieces. You can get all 3, 1, 2 of them, whatever you want. You just need the boat, obviously.
So it's all 3 for 300 gold?
That would be 350 gold.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to have advantage on these checks because you can focus because of the pilot. And the DC for these checks is going to go down to 15 because somebody is training you. Alright?
Okay.
The first thing I need is an intelligence check with advantage. Okay, that's 12. No effect there. Now I need an athletics check with advantage. Okay, so this is kind of a custom thing, so you're going to have to kind of write this down. However you can remember, it's fine with me. Okay?
Okay.
So from now on, you have a +2 to all athletic checks or saves to try and maintain your balance or position on ships. If, for example, you're in rough water, the boat's rocking, you're trying to attack, you're trying to move around, if you have any type of athletics check or save to do what you're trying to do, you get a +2.
Okay.
Alright? And a dexterity check with advantage. 14. No effect. Sorry. Alright. So, do you have a question, Lycus?
Who are the dragons loyal to?
The dragons are loyal first to their rider.
Did he cut out for anyone else or just me? Okay.
Coming back in. Okay.
Yep.
I heard the question. All right. So, the dragons are loyal first to their rider, but ultimately to Acastus. Okay. All right. So, did anybody think of anything? Any last minute? It seems really important that you want to address before we wrap up downtime.
Anyone up for a drink?
Okay. Drinks will be had every evening. That's fine. You're muted. No? Okay.
Does anyone want me to make them a potion? No?
Ooh, yes. Can you make me a potion in case I start drowning? I can breathe underwater.
Actually,
Oh wait, I have
I
that
don't
one. I have the other one. Never mind. I have one already.
yeah, you already have the one I gave you.
Remember, that's a special one.
That's the special one.
I didn't
Congratulations.
take the other one.
I still have the other one. No, but does anyone
Oh.
want any potions of healing? Normal, greater, or otherwise?
Sure.
I mean, we can always use them.
It's gonna cost. How many do we
Yeah.
have?
I don't think I have any left.
I don't have any.
Materials for these, if we just want regular potions, they're about 25 gold a piece. Greater potions are about 100 a piece. And unless you want something that can really pick you up when you're on death's bed, I say we stop at the greater.
I've got 3 potions on me.
I've got 2 on me. I had like 6, but
I don't
I
have
used all
any.
of it.
everybody.
I used up all mine when Cyanus was dead.
Oh, I lied. I have 2 potions of healing.
I used up all
I-
mine when Cyanus was dead.
I can make all the way up to Supreme, but that one costs like 2,500.
Ooh,
So
we'll take some quantity over quality.
That'd be lovely.
So maybe a bunch of the graders, or as many of the greater ones you can get.
like maybe like a handful greater, like
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 per, and then
Yeah,
a couple normals.
yeah.
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right.
Just does it.
I'm gonna need 5. So it'd be I need about 800.
Oh God.
Well,
Gotcha.
that's a greater per, and then 2 to 3 normals per.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Um,
So, to that point, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of little snippets of things that happened during downtime while y'all are in Mitros, and then if you guys want to shop for anything personally, such as material components, because it can be kind of hard to come by on a boat unless you can find some on an island, then you guys can do whatever shopping y'all need to do before we move on. That's 100% fine. And you can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. 2 things I want to mention. Number 1 is the day after your trial. It is widely commented on that for the first time in a very long time, Gaius has left Mitros. He is seen riding off on his silver dragon low over the city, out over the water, away, off into the blue yonder. Number 2, I got with everybody, we're aware, but for the viewers, I got with Austin on the side about provisioning and outfitting the Ultros. A couple of notable changes to the Ultros as you saw it before. There are now 4 ballistas, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. There are 2 rowboats to go along with it as well, for getting on and off of land. He can talk to you all about what provisions you have, but you do have a decision to make. If you choose to do so, at this point in time, since you reclaimed the Ultros for your own, you can rename it. Would you like to do so?
So right now it's the Ultras.
Mhm.
The Lycus.
We're not naming it the
no,
Lycus.
we're not naming it the Lycus.
Lycus's dream.
Hey, I think I may have one.
Sure.
Thalia's Hope.
No, that's stupid.
I really liked that, actually.
How about we name it the SS I Love You Guys?
Yes, I still love you. I'll have to come back on this.
I would say I would have suggested something like Titan's Folly, except 1, there already was something named after that, and 2, we might not want to court additional outrage from the Titan of the Sea while we are out on the sea.
We could do a Castus as a bitch.
No.
Oh.
I love the idea, but no. Ina, any thoughts?
I don't care. I mean, it's just a bunch of wood put together so we can not drown. Its name has no significance to me. I'm not
Perhaps
the
we should
captain of
say-
it.
Perhaps we should simply keep it the Ultros for now. It is a name that still carries the weight of
For
what we've done.
now. Yeah. Yeah.
Just make sure everyone add 2 I took 2 regular potions of healing and 1 greater.
Hold on.
Cyanus. Sorry.
Let me stop you real quick. This is learning how to craft potions.
I thought I was able to craft them.
You are, but it's going to take you time to do so.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Well, then I bought all the stuff to make them.
Yeah, as you can
That
see
way.
on your handout, a normal one takes 1 day.
Yeah.
A greater takes 3 days each. A superior, and so on.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you. I see it. Yep.
Okay. So you can do
Makes
that
more
after you're
sense.
underway. Sure.
Right. Never mind.
Mhm.
Hold off on adding anything.
You're still gonna have to buy the stuff before you leave, though.
What's the? Well, that was why I asked for the money. But on that little thing, it says an herbalist kit for common and an herbalist kit for uncommon. What's the difference?
You need an herbalist kit to make common and uncommon potions. And in order to make a rare potion, if you ever gained the knowledge of how to do so, you would need an alchemist kit. You can't make those yet.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
No, you're fine.
I was
This-
at
this-
1 point.
This right here is y'all's time. Since y'all putting a pin and renaming it, if you guys have any personal shopping to do, if there's anything you need to talk about, whether it's the Ultros, equipment, whatever, feel free to do that now. And then when y'all are ready, when y'all tell me y'all are ready, we'll proceed to the embarkation.
All right, so I'm guessing one night after I'm talking with Don about all the ship supplies, I report back everything that I've got, and I meet up with everyone. I'm like, all right, so who wants to hear what we've got for our voyage?
Let's do it.
All right. Ugh. Let me break up my accounting glasses. So, we've got a big ship on our hands, and I made sure that we're actually going to have room to grow. So, I feel like having as many hands as possible is going to be super beneficial to us. So, we ended up getting 100 sailors on our books.
Why would we get 100 sailors? I've got an entire army of undead.
That was fun. Likewise.
Yeah, whoever's VC is supposed to be muted is not. It came through twice. It was echoing.
Oh, that's me. That's me.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I got an entire army of undead. They're still there, aren't they? Oh my god. Did they get free? I mean, you've been at the ship. I haven't been there in a minute. Like, is old Cricky Neck still at the drums? You know, old lady, haggy, skeletal.
I mean,
Definitely needs some moisturizing.
the boat's kind of quiet, so we kind of need people.
Those slacky motherfuckers left their post. You can't find good undead these days. This is unacceptable. An entire army of undead. Row the boat. That's all I ask. That difficult. God, I wish I could just find another army of undead. Is it that hard? Is it hard? Is it hard? Do they have necromancers that just have armies laying around? I just need someone to row the boat. Hey, Renatus. Hey. Can you raise an army from the local graveyard?
Not yet, but if we do run into some, I would like to speak with them.
Is that frowned upon? I didn't even ask.
Yes.
I mean, nothing. I don't think anything's frowned upon.
Much of the raising of the dead is directly tied to Luther. Depends if you're trying to resurrect somebody. That's 5 gods, like what happened with Seafucker.
So,
oh, that's a good name.
So what you're saying is there's a gray area.
Hold that thought, Renatus. Seafucker. That would be very interesting. We'll keep it. We'll just let it roll off the tongue a few times. Try it on, mull it around, swish it, and we'll see what that sounds like. Okay, back to what you're saying, good sir.
Yes, so there's a gray area. That's what I was trying to get at. So raising the dead is not, frowned upon. So if we find one, I believe we should talk to him. I would like to talk to him extensively.
As talk to a necromancer, you mean? Or the undead?
A necromancer.
Because generally those people are tied in the actual act of raising them, as far as I know, which is not much. But I think it's Lotharia's domain, rather than the Five Gods, so it'd be tied to people working with her. They don't like us. For reasons.
But it sounds like
a member of our party
learn.
has already been raised by Lotharia. And we don't look any different at him.
Yeah, because you guys love me.
Yes, we do. Well, I do, at least.
On that note, Cyanus, I have some questions for you.
Look, dude, I have no idea. I just came back.
Well, let me perform some experiments.
Oh well, maybe when we're on the boat, because we're gonna have a lot of downtime. I can feel it. All right, so
No, you're gonna be rowing. There ain't no downtime. I lost my army. You're gonna have strong arms.
no,
You just said you have 100
I
people
bought you an
rowing.
army.
You're rowing too. 100 people are not.
Anyway, so I bought us 100 sailors.
Yep.
I got us all rations for 2 months if we need to come back. All right. I've got a bunch of sip supplies. I got a shitload of bolts for the new ballistas. They're really fun to play with. Bought us a bunch of stuff just as an in case if the boat starts getting a little wrecked. I got a lot of sacrificial wine because
You bought wine. Why'd you buy wine?
look, we need wine.
I don't understand. We have
The sailors.
limitless wine.
Yeah, but I mean, we need this kind of wine. The
For
horn
her.
wine is nice,
It's
but
for her,
we
isn't
need
it?
special wine.
Oh.
For her
we need
and
that
for
cheap.
him.
Do we need that cheap poison shit? There's
Yeah,
wine.
that's swill.
Somebody keep Volon out of that.
I'll do my best.
What'd you
Oh,
say?
you know who's looking for it. Yeah, talking about you, buddy.
All right.
No, I'll drink. There's going to be some extra wine on board. Please don't drink it. It's going to be the same shit that made you sick.
I don't think it's gonna stop him. I don't think it's gonna stop him.
No, you see
I
that
think-
face? That.
No,
You
that's
see
gonna
that
be
face?
like a challenge accepted face.
How else are you going to build up a tolerance?
Don't
I know
encourage
raises
him,
a point.
please. I know.
Saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Not if it breaks your legs.
Is that
Oh,
wine going to break
crippling.
his legs? Is it going to go in his blood cells and break his legs?
Have you seen Volon dumb drunk on a
break
boat?
his legs.
Volon will probably get so drunk he's gonna pull himself up on a ballista, fire it, and hope he can fly.
Hell yeah.
Ace and one.
I guess don't give him ideas.
That would be fucking hilarious. So let's not pretend we didn't all imagine that mentally.
Lycus, you ever ride a bolt before?
Yeah, he has. In a manner of speaking.
That one that was in the Satyr's Tail broke a while ago, so probably not.
I feel like I just got violated.
No, there was this enchanted.
That's what you
thing
said
that-
that time too.
Oh
That's
my
not what I'm
god.
referring. That's not what I'm referring to. I used to be in the Satyr's Tail. There was this enchanted.
Nobody put anything in a satyr's tail, okay? Nobody.
The tavern on Stygian Road.
Yeah, no, you're good.
There was this enchanted, sort of vaguely mechanized bull that would mimic like bucking, and the people would try and see how long they could stay on without being, kicked off into the wall. It got taken down within a month because about 5 people in the same night broke their necks.
I bet they won't do that again.
Well, yeah,
No.
I think they could only do it once.
Unless they get risen from the dead. We've had this conversation.
No, they lived. But 2 of them did die. 3 of them just live in the beds.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright. Who else? What else we got?
Also, I got us a bunch of boxes and crates because I have a feeling we're probably gonna be taking some things. I also
Treasure. Yeah, we will be compensated heavily.
Yeah. I also got us 2 horses because I know Euron can ride Folon. Ina doesn't really need a horse.
Pack my own.
I would like to see
I
it.
want to see this now. She should ride an elephant.
Is that a fat joke?
Where are we gonna get elephants?
Definitely not a fat joke.
What's an
We'll
elephant?
talk about elephants later.
What's an elephant?
It's a biggie thingy.
That's a real descriptive, Lycus.
It's well, how else do you describe it to someone who's never seen one? It's got a thing. It shoots water out of it, and then it.
Now,
throws
this
it.
sounds like a very convoluted dick joke.
I mean, it's really accurate when you say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really.
think about it.
It's like a tongue almost. Like it's.
Yeah.
You can move it around.
Yeah.
It grabs things.
If
Yeah,
you-
it grabs things.
He
it-
feeds
it-
himself with it. Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if you guys need an example, Lycus does know polymorph.
I do. I can happily show you the true.
Not here.
In the room.
For outside, perhaps.
All in good one. All right. Are we ready to go?
I found out something interesting you guys might like to know. So do you remember those books that we got from the philosophers from doing that debate?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Renatus, you weren't here yet. I got somebody to take a look at them. Apparently there's some arcane knowledge and shit in each one.
Oh, excellent! I will
Just
happily
see my-
decipher that.
My hand just kind of.
Is it
I
your
will
strong
hand
hand?
over my copy of Chalcodon's Mathematica
Okay.
to Renatus. Lycus, you have one. It's useless on me. Absolutely fucking useless on me.
Yes.
Are we still talking about the book? Or absolutely
Are we-
useless on you?
Is that a lesbian joke?
What? No. What? I am so lost how we just segued to that.
Thank
Just
you,
gonna be like,
Austin.
your armor is useless on you because you always get knocked down. Your weapons are useless on you. The magic, like that one, he was like, "What?" I have no idea where that went. Okay.
Like it's still holding out hope.
Mostly gay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the book and I guess thumb through it and read it and inspect it whenever we have time.
Okay, real quick, just letting you know, thumbing through it, front to back real quick, because you're a super fast reader. You realize that at the end of them, there's a footnote, a bibliography, etc., etc. However, you see a list of 3 other books in each book, where it matches the other books in that set. So it seems like you're all given one book, and each. Well, they were given one book each, and all 4 of those books together forms a set.
Ooh.
FYI.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like all the books.
I give him my book. I have no use for it.
Well, I guess you're our resident librarian now.
Take the books. Yes, thank you. Take all the books.
I'm just imagining, are we going to need to get you something like a book harness or something?
No, it's fine. I just put them right here in my sash.
Okay, so now, Renatus, you have a copy of Machaon's Paradoxia, Chalcedon's Mathematica, Dialogues of Herodotus, and Atreus' Metaphysica. And I put the names of those in the chat for you. You can keep track of that.
Awesome.
Alright.
Appreciate that.
Yes, I'm a kind person.
All right, and the last thing I got on our supplies list, sacrifice is a regular thing out there. So I got us a bunch of animals. Like a bunch of animals.
Hell yeah. Sacrifice it to my Billy.
How much are we going to smell like cow shit by the time we get off this fucking ship?
Hopefully not.
That's what the sailors are for.
Why don't we just sacrifice a cat? Why do we need to fucking sacrifice a cow?
I mean, I never said anything about cows.
Can we eat the animals we sacrifice? Like after we sacrifice them, like can we barbecue them? Like, or do we just have to like throw them overboard and it's just a big waste?
Well, and so that's the thing. That's why it's a sacrifice, is because you are consigning them to the gods. You are giving them up to the gods. So no, they cannot be used in any way after they are sacrificed.
Yeah, you just slit their throat and then throw them overboard.
Well, slit their throat, pray, perform the rites, of course, yes.
Okay.
It's small. We could just sacrifice a cat, but we need to. But it's more the grander the thing, the more likely that we aren't going to get a storm. The ship can't sink, but it can still slow us down.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't get a ton of livestock because, I mean, we don't have unlimited money, but we also have limited space.
Who decide on want dead? We could just sacrifice them and we won't have any storms forever.
He wants all of us dead.
Oh.
We're not issue first.
I already jumped on the sword once first.
This is fear.
Renatus, actually, I was going to ask. And she, do you have one too? It's the scar.
Oh, I just want to be sure.
There's absolutely no titty. There's absolutely no titty.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Definitely not yet.
Renatus, you do not.
I don't have one?
No.
Oh, snap.
I see them comparing scars, and I'm like, oh, you want to see scars? And then I just lift off my shirt, and I'm like, oh, yeah, what about all these? You know, the ones that killed me.
I don't have any scars.
Yeah, Cyanus' body looks pretty horrible. However, you do not have... you do have a scar, like Euron does, from that spear. Cyanus.
Cyanus does.
Wait, you don't? How the fuck? Actually, wait, no, Cyanus wouldn't have one because he didn't die the same way. Because he died in combat.
Yeah, he died from the, whatever those guys were.
From the box of,
He didn't even make it to that fight.
He died from the box of Gargants.
Yeah, he died early.
Cyanus has one.
Way to go.
What?
Cyanus has one, but Renatus doesn't. Score! Interesting.
Very suspect.
Curious.
Are we sure
I
we're
just walk
letting
up
him
and
on the boat with
grab-
us?
I just grab Renatus's chin and like jerk it side to side, like examining him. And
Yes, can I help you?
He doesn't look like any of the ghosts, right?
No.
Okay.
Can I read the book now?
Why the fuck don't you have a scar?
Are you sure you only have one scar? Lycus asks.
I take care of my body and lotion and stuff. Come on now.
Got that coconut oil.
Essential
Man,
oils.
I gotta stay
Essential
pristine over here.
rub himself down in butter.
Delicate hands.
Butter.
Shea butter.
What's lotion?
Ah,
It puts the lotion on the skin.
we'll get to that.
Or
We
else
have a
what happens if
long
I don't put
sea
the lotion on my skin?
You get the bucket.
You get the
Get the bucket. You get to clean the stalls with the sheep.
There you go. I
That's
helped.
what happens.
Euron just hold up her hands, and like besides the scales, they are the most chapped. Like knuckles are cracking. Like
Oh my god.
They're
So
like-
ashy.
I
Ashy.
go to the local sheep merchant and fucking buy lanolin.
there's
Just a
the
lot of lanolin.
Euron
Hey,
uses
Euron.
manicure more
That'll
than
be one
any woman
silver,
in
sir. One
history.
silver.
Oh, here's 2 silver. Give me all the fucking lanolin you got.
Right away, sir.
I just come back with a bucket of goop. I grab it and just start rubbing her. Just stop fighting. Just stop fighting. Yeah, get.
Hey, Euron. I don't want to offend you with this, but I have a question.
Answer potentially.
When was the last time you shed?
I stop my lanolin rub down.
Whoa.
I don't know if Medusa shed. Until Medusa shed.
Great, so she hasn't shed yet.
Ina has the highest perception. So I would say that
I am not paying attention to that.
along your travels, you have here and there, oddly enough, noticed strange scales just kind of popping up randomly in y'all's bags and things. So
In my bag?
yeah, I mean, just kind of like on top of your bag when you guys were camping out and
Oh,
stuff like that.
okay. Let me
Yeah.
find one in my bag. Gross.
We're just walking down a path, and then all of a sudden, Ina's ears perk up, like, "Hey, wait a minute! I hear crackling." All right, but yeah, that's all the stuff I got for the boat. So
The only other question I have, and it's just for, I guess, the future, is the Mythal Forge is going, right? I mean, we could make something. I know as far as like weapons go and armor and that kind of stuff, is it something that we just ask to be made, or is it like something we have to do research on an item and just get?
So you would need to have any special items, which you can contact Vulcan if you like. If there is a certain item, he can tell you what it may need. And then there's a certain amount of gold cost associated with getting all the more mundane components and paying the assistants and things like that. And then, of course, there's a crafting time. So that's why you'll have a sending stone to Vulcan, so you can kind of call them, order things, for lack of a better term. However, once you're on the ship, you'd have to go back and pick it up, or have some way for them to find you out at sea and means to get there.
Got it. Did you give us a list of items that we can have made?
Yeah.
So
It's in the
yes,
chat.
there are some items specifically in our Discord chat, correct? But pretty much any magical item outside of artifacts is possible, assuming you have the time and the resources. And there's so many magical artifacts, I can't possibly give you guys just a comprehensive list of every special item you need. So we talk about it offline and establish that.
Okay. I mean, it wouldn't really matter now because we're about to leave, but
Correct.
just for future reference.
Yeah, sure.
I would scour the marketplace to see if anybody was selling a pair. Go.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. Roll me a d20. Let's see how lucky you are. Because it's not a common item at all. Nymphs do not give up their hair willingly.
7.
7? Unfortunately not. Not this week.
Would any of the merchants be able to tell me where I could find some?
You could easily find out that nymphs generally do not inhabit or come in cities unless they're very special. There are nymphs in the Satyr's Tale specifically. Walking around the wilds is the best way to kind of happen upon one, since they're roaming and things, and generally they live in small groups or individually. And you could do that either on the mainland or in the islands.
Okay.
Now that I know shredding is a thing, I'm going to look in the market for a goddamn loofah.
They have some dried sponges from the seabed that you can purchase for, let's say about 5 copper apiece.
Yeah. I have enough in my own money for that. And then just that, and some soap, and I'm going to look at that particular shopkeeper and just be like, how would you get rid of snake skin?
He just kind of looks at you strange and then turns.
Like, just like, nope, I'm not engaging with this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck off. I don't say that out loud.
Speaking of that, is there anything else you had, Cyanus? Regarding the Ultros?
No.
Okay.
No, that was everything.
Okay. Is there anything that you all want to shop for that may be hard to come by as individuals? Potions, armor, ammunition, anything that might benefit you on a journey where you may be gone from civilization for a long time. Depending on where you go and what you do. Oop. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
I'm just scrolling through my list. Which shop would there was a shop that had more sort of magical artifacts and things like that, right? Or gear?
No, not really. There was mundane weapons and armor, and then there was some potions and things like that.
Okay.
Magical items are generally constricted to the forge or finding them out, with dangerous people.
So no one would be selling an amulet of health.
You may get lucky, but probably not.
No. In addition to, so I'm going to keep this up just for fun with the joke, soap and the loofah.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, this is more the practical side. I would like to get, if possible, a block, maybe, yay big, of moldable wax. Like the kind to make earplugs.
Okay. Sure.
We are going to be in places where we might find sirens and harpies.
Oh, you're getting silly putty.
What?
Wax is very common. There are candles all over the place. That would cost you a silver.
Yeah. I'll pay that. And, nope, that's maybe another spear in case mine breaks.
Okay. Easy enough. You can just pull that from D&D Beyond. That's fine.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Well, if that is all, looking at everybody, looks good. Okay. Or?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, the morning of your departure arrives. Sun rises in the morning. You wake up at the Oracle's estate. You gather all your belongings, get a quick breakfast, and proceed down towards the dock. Word of your imminent departure has spread quickly throughout the city of Mitros. The provisioning of your legendary ship certainly did not go unnoticed. A sizable crowd of onlookers has gathered to see you off, and 2 figures of note have also come to speak with you. King Acastus and Queen Valis. King Acastus, sitting there on the back of his silver dragon, on the dock very close to the Ultros, watching you with narrowed eyes as you approach. When you pass near him, the silver dragon takes one of his massive scaled feet, places it in front of your path, momentarily blocking you. Acastus turns to you and says, I wish you well on your journey. Take care that you do not invite new troubles upon my city.
Ina rolls her eyes just like, oh, fuck you. I don't say anything, but my expression is gonna say it all. Like,
I turn and look at the dragon, and in Draconic, ask it, how the hell can you be loyal to him? Is it by choice or compulsion?
The dragon turns towards you. One massive, copper-colored eye, contrasting sharply against the silver scales on his face. His lips curl a bit, almost as though to smile. And you hear in a strange voice, I am loyal to my master, Satyr.
And who has smirked back?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dragons love me.
What'd you roll?
He do.
24 good for you?
They do love you.
I literally can't roll any better. It's not possible.
I serve no one that wears a crown. Looking directly at you.
oh, the shade. And we can hear this, right?
Only if
Well,
you
you'll
speak
have to-
Draconic.
No,
we
we
have
have,
the-
we have
we
the,
have
we
the
have the coin.
Yeah, they all have the coins.
Make sure that you don't have to be attuned. I don't remember. If check that, and assuming the resolution of that, yes or no. I can't remember with that one specifically.
Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't say it.
It doesn't say it, then you don't need it. You don't need to be attuned. So yes, all of you understand both of them.
I'm like chuckling under my breath because putting Lycus in his place is hilarious to me.
And Tom, and I'll thank you, King Acastus, for your kind words. I do always enjoy the opportunity to speak with such a majestic and powerful creature such as this. And your dragon.
I'm assuming he can speak Draconic too, so.
I don't know if Cassis can. Did it seem like he was getting ticked off with my questioning to his dragon?
Somebody give me an insight check.
He got the look.
Not me.
I'll do it. Oof. 11.
It's impossible to say whether or not he understood. However, you didn't see any change in his composure during the questioning. Yes, my dragon is majestic. And soon my Dragonlords will prove not only are they the true Dragonlords, but that your fool's errand and that boat are not but relics of the past. And with that, he pulls on the reins a little bit, and that massive foot clumps back into place, and then he flies off and peels into the sunset, whipping around, going back. I'm sorry, sunrise, whipping around, going back towards King's Palace. Queen Valis pulls up on a gilded chariot, steps down, and glides towards you with that all too familiar divine poise she seems to constantly possess, while her attendants run before her, laying several baskets at your feet. Heroes of the prophecy, my friends, that was amusing. I bring you gifts from the people of Mitros, and I have come to give you my blessing, but I also must speak to you privately before you embark upon your ship. In these baskets before you, the attendants so graciously offering you, you see quiver of 10 arrows. They look miraculously sharp and very finely crafted. They are +1 arrows from the city centurions. 6 vials with a reddish liquid, which you have come to know as potions of healing. 4 gray potions that seem rather thick. And you, especially now, Renatus, would know that these are potions of climbing. And then 4 more bronze-colored potions that kind of sheen and reflect the sunlight almost as though a suit of armor. These are 4 potions of resistance, and all of these come from the Academy. Additionally, being led up behind are 4 goats on lanyards and 2 white cows from some of Mitros' most respected farmers. They also aid you on your voyage, in whatever way you choose to use them. Coming up behind and surrounding it, you see many of the friends that you have made along the way. From left to right, you see Kira, you see Pythor, you see Versi, you see Lorius, Bulbug, Bolon, Dan, Hercus, and Aola. And standing behind them, just at the edge of the crowd, you see a figure whose face is shrouded in shadow, with a familiar white cape in a dangerous pose, recognizing her as Moxina. Pythor steps forward and speaks up. It seems like everybody's fate lies in your hands, and I'm glad for it. So, if you would have me with you, it would be an honor to join your quest on the seas. And one by one, each of your friends offers the same. You can take all of them, you can take none of them. It's up to you.
Come on, guys! We got plenty of room!
Double mic, double mic.
Sorry, I forget. Come on, guys! We got plenty of room!
I think we'd be honored.
Like us speaking for the group? Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So one by one they come by, either handshake, a warm embrace, gift Lorius putting white garlands of flowers around each of your necks. And you see he has that massive satchel of scrolls and parchments on his side. One by one, they all come up carrying their effects and find their way on board the Ultras to make a bed wherever they can. Coming in shortly behind them, you see the noble stature and unforgiving face of Terran Nerdigon, along with the raven-haired lady that seems to speak for him in public areas. He stands before you. You have made a good name for yourselves, Dragonlords. Reputations can go far in this city, for good or for ill. I remember our agreement, even if no one else does. And it seems as though you would depart for an unknown time. And yet, we have not resolved our deal.
Quick question. Is there any sense that, like, because the lady is in the crowd, on the edge of the crowd, is there any sign that he saw her?
Give me an insight check.
Oh, God. 16?
Doesn't seem to be. If so, there's no outward recognition of it.
But she can see him.
She'd have to be blind not to.
Okay. Making sure. Oh, casting my eyes around the group and sort of, are we gonna tell him?
Well, our investigations have led us to a place, and it's gonna end up being somewhere we're gonna end up having to go on here. So Take it or leave it.
It's.
You say the Lady of Coins is not in Mitros anymore.
I'm not saying that she isn't in Mitros, but I'm saying that through what we've investigated, we know that there's something out there that'll help us take her out.
And our paths and hers will cross again, perhaps, in a place that is not her domain, for lack of a better term.
And meanwhile, while you sail and complete your own quests and build your own fame and your own fortune, I am perpetually harassed. This does not bode well for our relationship. What assurances can you give me that you will meet the terms of our agreement in an expeditious fashion?
Was expeditious part of the agreement?
Yeah, you never gave us a timeline. You were just like, hey, here's what we need done. You never gave us a timeline.
The only assurance I think we can grant, and I hope that it shall be enough, is that this is a decision that was made. This agreement was struck through the use of the Great Game between two parties of considerable influence and reputation. I cannot speak for those figures more powerful, that perhaps are more powerful than us, but I would dare say that the Fates would have been interested in such an interaction, and would be very interested should that deal fall flat.
That may be, Euron Kratoan. But we all play the Great Game. Every day. Whether we control the pieces or not. Whether we are the pieces or not. Be careful what path you take. You might be cut off in the end.
Well, I'm still standing here talking to you, and I haven't been dragged off by the Fates, have I?
He's turned and walked away as you're saying that.
I'm really... This is my home, but there are so many people here who are...
I just look straight at Euron, right in the eyes, and I'm like...
You are, right now, you're super choppy on my screen, probably my internet, so I have no idea what you're doing.
It's not
basically, I'm just like looking straight at you, and I'm mimicking almost like something eating him.
Okay. As soon as he's out of earshot, I will cast my eye towards the lady.
You look over you look over in her direction, but she's already gone.
We're gonna have to tell her, aren't we?
Why?
If it comes up.
She would have had to be blind not to see him talking to us, potentially.
She already knows that he asked us to kill her.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to discuss on that front with her.
I thought that she only knew that we had struck a deal of some kind. What that was, I genuinely don't remember. Like,
oh no, she knows.
She knows? Okay. I couldn't remember. She did. Well.
At this, Queen Valis steps back, claiming your attention once more. Unfortunately, I must stay here to make sure that Acastus doesn't burn the city to ruins in your absence. Hopefully it will still be standing when you return. I've also heard of rumblings in the darker corners of our city that bode well. So I will foster those as well. Now, if you could please take this. She motions over, and you see two more attendants come up, each of them on side of a medium-sized gilded bronze casket. And they have two poles on either side that these attendants are holding. and they come and they put it on the ground towards you. She takes the key and she hands it to Lycus. Lycus, this item is of great importance. Do not open it until you are well underway at sea. And inside, you will find a letter from me instructing you in how to use it.
You got it.
Now, finally, I have this. And out from underneath her cloak, she holds up this strange bronze device. It has a polished wooden base, and around the edge are bronze numerals, and then rising up in the center of it is this strange mechanical looking contraption with many gears and eyesight and arms coming off. Do any of you recognize this? I certainly hope so, otherwise Versi was poorly mistaken.
Yeah, I do.
Well then, Ina, it appears this is meant for you. And she hands it to you. It is the device, obviously, that you saw. As you know, speaking now again to all of you, the Cerulean Gulf and the Forgotten Sea are vast and harbor many dangers. Some of your destinations may even vanish and shift by the workings of capricious primal powers. This Antikythera is a cunning device. It utilizes both magic and mechanical ingenuity to chart a safe path across these oceans. Every island in the seas surrounding Thylia is attuned with a particular constellation in the night sky. By selecting a constellation on the device, peering through the view, you may chart a course to its associated island. However, as with all things, there seems to be a catch. Powers work against you, as they will for the remainder of your journey. It seems as though someone has stolen a gear from the device. Until the gear is replaced, you will not be able to navigate the Forgotten Sea, although you may find your way around the Cerulean Gulf with the aid of those on your ship, sailors, and the friends you have made so far. If I had to guess, with how much he left in a hurry, I suspect the Order of Sidon is responsible for this theft. In which case, Gaius himself almost certainly has the piece. He departed yesterday for the Order's headquarters on the island of Yonder.
Hey, Lycus, I think we're finally gonna get to kill him.
That's good.
Now, I have nothing more to share with the group, although I would like to speak to Lycus for a moment longer.
I trust you will manage His Majesty's temper tantrum well, your lady.
With Mitros' blessing, I hope you have a safe and successful journey. Send word if you need anything from Mitros. She will answer. The city. And perhaps the goddess. Lycus.
Yes, Devin.
I am not Kira Lycus, but thank you. I have been speaking with Versi, and she has something to tell you herself. However, given the events in the court yesterday, I have now come to believe, as do others, that you especially, and those you travel with, are destined to rebuild the order of the Dragonlords, the true Dragonlords, to supplant these false heretics that call themselves as such so arrogantly and foolishly. In order to do this, there is something you need. You must be able to withstand any attacks that may come your way by the forces of the Titans, or even Acastus if he dares do so before your journey is over. to this end, you must claim the fortress of the Dragonlords.
Mm.
The last knowledge I have of it places it in the Garden of Helios. I hope you are successful.
Thank you very much for that. I will try to get all the information I can and accomplish this task.
I have faith you will. You have but 2 short months before the Oath of Peace comes to an end. 60 days to confront Sidon in his tower at Praxis, and Lutheria on her throne in the Nether Sea. If you cannot renew the Oath of Peace in that time, then I fear to think what may befall this city. The armies of the Titans will slaughter the people of Mitros, and soak the lands in blood. The Titans are still weaker than they were in the First War. You would be wise to gather what power you can on your journey, and with the right weapons and knowledge, perhaps you could even challenge the Titans directly, destroying them for good. And that is all the advice I have. I hope my gifts come with good tidings, and I hear back from you soon.
Yeah, my lady.
With that, she bows to you, bows to each of you, those who may still be around, if you haven't already left for the ship. She gets back on her chariot, and she's carted away. So, a little bit of mechanical knowledge, because you have a new ship, some new mechanics here, okay? Number 1, you need 50 sailors on the oars at all times for it to move at a normal speed. You have 100, that's good. If you fall below 50 sailors, then your journey between the islands will take an extra day. Normally it will take you 3 days. You may be able to increase your speed by sacrificing animals to Sidon. You may also be able to prevent bad weather events by sacrificing animals to Sidon. Number 2, the ballistas. The ballistas require 3 people to operate. 3 people are on them, they can fire once per turn. If you have less than that, it'll take 2 turns or 3 turns respectively. Last but not least, the Antikythera. Once you are able to use it, you have to use it on land, a stable platform, to find the next constellation, chart the course, then you take the Ultros and proceed on your journey. Okay? So, with that, a lot of information. You guys are about to set foot on the Ultros and start sailing, so we are going to take a break here. Get revived, absorb, come back to it, and see where y'all decide to take us. So, everybody, we will be back. I'll see y'all when we are ready. You know how that goes. And take care of yourselves too. Alright? Tuck in. Getting started. Alright, we are back. So, everybody, for the home team viewers, as you may have been able to tell, Josh valiantly stuck with us as long as he could. He's not feeling too well. So he's going to go get some much needed and much deserved rest. We hope he feels better and thank him for joining us as long as he could, which was amazing. We're going to finish up this session without him. Hopefully everything is all healed and everybody's back next week, ready to go. So, first thing we need to figure out is where you're going to go. And we're going to kind of walk you through that, and then you guys can run after this on your own. So you can either, if you have a specific goal in mind, or a specific location in mind, you can talk to sailors, the NPCs, people on board the ship, see if any of them happens to know where it is. Or, if you already know what the constellation for that island is, you can queue in that constellation on the Antikythera and go. Or you can pick random constellation and see what's at the other end of it. Let me give y'all the constellations real quick.
If the constellation, if the constellation that leads to the island of Scorpion isn't Scorpio, I'm going to lose my mind. Or some variant of Scorpio. You know what I mean?
Only way to find out. So, here you have the night sky of Thylia. Okay? All of these constellations, as you can see, they're loosely outlined for your reference. Alright, you see a bear there, you see a dragon, and so on. Your party marker is on... Let me move it. Your party marker is on the bear. Now, this one is a freebie. The constellation of the bear always leads back to the mainland of Thylia. And the captain, who in this case is Lycus, which Ari is going to pick up for us, can kind of choose where on the mainland to go. Usually to one of the major cities, or anywhere where you know it is. Where you know that location, because you're willing it to that specific spot. Okay? So from here, let me go ahead and tell you what these constellations all are. You have the bear, where your party token is. You have... Oh, let me get something out of my way real quick. You have the twins, right here. You have the golden heart. You have the nymph. The chariot. The queen. The dragon. The centaur. Both the centaur and the scorpion together is one constellation. You have the bard. The dragon. The Gigan. The warrior. The prisoner. The ant. The blacksmith. The dreamer. The spear. And the trickster. Here's the Titan. So, now you have a general idea of the constellations. What are you going to do?
Does anyone know exactly what any of the constellations are?
So, you'll
Like
spend
in the party?
Oh, in the party?
I don't.
I just realized I'm muted. I'm going to take a wild guess that the centaur and the scorpion, together, are for the island of the scorpion, where Forlorn's from.
It's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Would
I mean,
Folon be able to verify that?
Forlorn!
Come on, clops on up, smiling, grinning. Well, I heard my name. All ready to go. I'm getting real tired of this city stuff.
We're told there's a constellation to match each island.
Hmm.
Do you know the one that's over your home?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's called the Centaur. At least that's what the sailors kept talking about when I left there a few years ago.
That answers that.
Do you happen to know any of the others?
No. That's the only time I ever been on the ship. And, wasn't talking too much at that point because some stuff going on. But, unfortunately, no. They got a whole bunch of sailors up there, though. I can ask around if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of hands here, so, I mean, someone has to know something.
At the very least, Moxina has to know how to get to Themis. She wants us to go there. She has to know the way. Sure. I'll run down. I'll start some asking.
Okay. So, is anybody doing anything while Huron's doing that?
I'm gonna look around up on the top deck and like talk to some of the people that I can see.
I'm looking for Versi.
Okay.
I'll just be looking at the anti. What is it?
Antikythera?
Can you spell that for me?
I can. Yep. There you go. Ari's got
Thank you.
It's originally the oldest computer.
it. Alright, so a couple of these sailors have been around a time or two. Often in the Cerulean Gulf. Nobody knows anything about the Forgotten Sea, as best you can tell. Just because normal sailors don't go there. They can't go there. Out of the people on board that you talk to over the next 10-15 minutes, you find one individual that says Fire Island is associated with the constellation of the Prisoner. And another individual says he has sailed past, very carefully and very quickly, Chimera Island. And that island is associated with the constellation of the Trickster. Okay. So real quick, jump over to Renatus. You find Versi. She has kind of cordoned herself off a little bit from everybody, but she's in the same general area as the rest of your friends. She welcomes you, sits down. Renatus, I didn't expect a visit so quickly. I was just putting my things away.
Sorry to bother you. I just couldn't help myself. I had to come talk to you because I had these stones, and I think they might help me find myself. And on that note, I was wondering if you had found any leads as to where else I should be looking to try to help in that regard. And I'll like take out the stones and like hold them in my hand and like look at her, you know.
Where exactly did you find these?
When we found this ship, they had souls trapped inside of them. And whenever we took them out of a chest, the Gigans would come out and attack us. And then after we got the ship, these gems are still here, and I sensed that they were mine.
I've only seen stones like this one time in my life. It was a very, very long time ago. Finding them on the ship does make some sense, though. You might want to sit down.
Okay.
The last time I saw these, they were in the possession of Esther Arcalander. He was using them in an attempt to make the various warring tribes, the ones that he was persecuting, some would say destroying. He would find their most noble warrior or their most respected individual and make an offering of peace, and then assassinate him, and then trap his soul or her soul in these stones. He would then summon their spirit forth from these souls at will, so that all those that belonged to that individual could see how awfully their fate would be. If they submitted, he would impress them into his army to fight each other, and if they did not, he destroyed them. So these stones have a very dark history. But that's not what they were made for. The stones were given to Esther under the ruse that Esther would use them to free the spirits of magnificent warriors to aid in his quest to destroy Lutheria. Unfortunately, the person who gave them, who created them for Esther, was tricked, and shortly thereafter was never seen from alive again. Does that help you at all?
I mean, that will definitely explain the stones and what they are. But does that mean that I created the stones?
I do not see how that's possible. The last time I saw the person who created the stones, he was guarding the necropolis. There is something peculiar about you, though. That much I will admit.
Is there anywhere that I can go to confirm? Or, I say confirm, enlighten, any other way to find out who was guarding the necropolis?
Damon, the Archwizard, and the friend and close ally of Xander Hurath, first and greatest of the Dragonlords. Even in undeath, he guarded their sacred tombs. Although perhaps this does make a bit of sense. As I told you, I sensed that your destiny lie along the path through yonder. When Damon left civilization, he bequeathed his spellbook to the Academy to help benefit the most powerful mages and Thylea to keep the peace and preserve the order of the Dragonlords for good. 100 years ago or so, the book was stolen. Many believe the Order of Sidon did this. If so, it makes sense that they would have taken it to yonder. Perhaps your answers lie there.
If not, then it's definitely a place to start.
One step at a time.
Thank you very much.
Before you go, I did want to speak with you and Lycus, but Lycus is probably busy, being a new captain trying to get his ship in order. So I'll tell you and trust you to relay the message. The night of the trial, after the trial, I had a vision. You and Lycus together, standing under the constellation of the prisoner, together holding a dragon egg. It may be good to investigate that as well.
Okay. All right.
I hope this has helped you. I know you're confused. So am I.
Thank you very much. And I'll get up and walk off.
She waits for you to step out, and then you don't hear anything for a while as you're walking along the relatively quiet lower deck. Then after 15-20 seconds, you hear things start moving around again in her space. So, anything else? Heroes of the Prophecy? Yes, you're on.
I'd like to go down and talk to Moxina.
Okay. I have a little bit of trouble finding her because you didn't even see her get on the ship. However,
If I can't find her, but I'm just gonna stand there and like find like the darkest spot.
she
And then, at least
Cyanus, what are you doing in the dark spot? Get out of here.
You find her actually in the captain's cabin, lying luxuriously on the bed. You open the door and she glances over at you, her hood now withdrawn. Hello, sister. Making yourself at home.
I admit I'm used to stingier quarters lately. I'll walk in and shut the door. This is strange.
It's comfortable. It will do. Is there something that you needed?
I wish to ask my two questions mainly, but the first, we are trying to navigate, and I understand there's a constellation for the islands. May I ask if you seem to know a great deal, and Themis is where you're from. Which constellation leads to it?
You see her smirk, and she rises up. The white cape staying on the bed, and beneath you see this finely crafted, thick leather armor. She walks over to you, and she snuffs out the candle. Darkness descends upon the room. You know, in this lighting, some would say we're almost twins. Do you not think?
Blink, blink, blink. Eyes go wide. It takes a minute. She's not brilliant.
She's no Rennie.
Yeah, no. Perhaps, yes.
And the other thing.
I've come to this rather recently. There's much I do not know. And perhaps might you be able to teach me a little of, say, to be able to stand before, to look into a mirror and not turn to stone, or to be able to turn things to stone. I have been struggling with that. I tried to turn a harpy, and all I could do was make it stand still.
I told you I would help you. And I will. Let this be your first lesson, because I would like to rest. The secret of the Medusa's power to petrify those lies in fear and hate. The more you hate something, the more you want to petrify it, the easier it becomes. And in return, when you look upon yourself in a mirror, the more you learn not to fear what you have become, the more you learn not to hate what you have become, the more you will be able to stand in front of a mirror and see you for what you truly are.
In your words, what is that?
Someone blessed by the gods. Only those who do not understand it label it a curse.
I did ask for help. And it was given to me.
We shall talk more, but I must rest before that talkative satyr comes in here.
Yes, I suspect he's going to try, and this is traditionally the captain's quarters.
All right.
And
I'm well aware. He can either lie with me or lie on the floor.
if you use that exact phrasing the first time,
I know what I ask for.
wait, really?
You see her smile a bit and turn and go lay back down on the bed.
Walk out, just like door, close it, go back up, and her face is kind of like, Oh, look at Ina. Actually, I could go on to Ina. This is an Ina thing. So, a lady of coins has claimed the captain's quarters, and if Lycus wants the bed, he can either sleep on the floor or sleep with her. And yes, in the full sense of that phrase.
I think he'll be pretty happy on this ship then.
What are we happy about?
Oh, God,
Apparently Lycus has a living girlfriend.
Oh, well, that's good for him.
No, if anything, she would be his live-in boyfriend.
Petrified.
Her. Yeah. She would be, yeah. He would be hers, sorry. He would be hers. Phrasing. If we go to the island of the Amazons, Themis is the twins.
Oh, that's cool. So I talked to Versi. She had a nice vision of me and Lycus holding a dragon egg on Fire Island. That was the island?
Did you say the island or the constellation?
The prisoner.
Yeah. The prisoner leads to Fire Island.
Yeah.
All right.
Under the constellation of the prisoner. So which is Fire Island, right?
I think so.
So yeah. Maybe we should check that out at some point. And
we have...
go ahead.
No, you first. You finish.
And that that I might be able to find out what's going on with me at the Isle of Yonder. Apparently, the cult of Lutheria or whoever's over there stole some archwizard's book from Mitros.
They're the ones who stole Damon's book.
Yeah, that's the guy. She said that name. And apparently the stones are his, or he made them at least. And I'll get some answers if we can get the book.
So, Island of Yonder for Lycus and for yourself. Famous for the lady, and also I would like to find my brother. Fire Island for yourself and Lycus. Eventually Praxis. Not yet. No. I'm not quite ready to face the Lord of Storms. Where else do we need to go?
Well, also over at Yonder, they said that's where the Order is headquartered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to go there to take out Gaius and get the last piece for Ina's little, actually pretty cool device.
Or whatchamacallit. Or thingamadinky.
And I mean, other than that, I mean, it feels like everything's kind of pointing us towards Yonder right now. I mean, that seems to be where the most stuff is linking together right now. So, I mean, at least if we make that our first stop, we'd have a lot of stuff done, hopefully, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not the captain. I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Where is Lycus?
He was off gallivanting somewhere.
Do we know what constellation leads us to Yonder?
No, we don't.
Let's see.
What do we know about the Island of Yonder? Like, are there any stories about it that we might have heard?
Was there anyone who was part of the cult who's not anymore on this ship?
The Order.
The Order? Cult?
It's the Order of Sidon there, not the Cult of Lutheria.
So, common knowledge is basically things that you've already learned about the Order of Sidon and the Island of Yonder in your travels so far. You can give me a rough history check to see if anybody may have heard something special, or you can talk to NPCs.
I'll try rolling.
Sure.
11?
What you've already learned.
See who else.
I'm gonna go ask a god.
Go ask a god.
Okay.
Just down this, like, slide down the banister. And just,
Well, wait a minute. We haven't left the city yet, have we?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, my thing only works on land, so we can't take off until
Yeah.
Right.
we have a route.
No. Like, I was just wanting to make sure, like, we're actually still in the city. We haven't, like, started just kind of, like, pushing off yet. Let's see. All right, I have an idea, but it's gonna have us actually go up to the Order of Sidon's church temple. I mean, I'm not a fan of the idea either, but it might help.
Does anyone else know? Would anyone else know?
Euron's just down the like halfway down the stairs, just going Pythor.
I mean,
I feel like Kira should know, like, being a bard. She should, like, at least know, like, some folklore or something.
Also, at the very least, she should know. She should know where the constellation of the bard goes to.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
I know Euron's going to talk to Pythor first.
Okay.
Because the Order of Sidon were, like, right there in his palace.
Okay. I'll save you a bit of time here. Pythor is well aware, but he smiles at you jovially. And he says his little sister would wring his neck if he ruined her chance to speak about the stars and impart knowledge in her own way. Apparently, Kira is very, very fond of the constellations and the stories that go along with them.
boom.
Then I go
Perfect.
proceed to go find her cabin.
Okay.
Nope, sorry, this way.
You're on.
Kira,
What'll it be?
this will be about a topic you like, or so your brother says.
I'm
The
sure.
stars, my lady. We need to figure
stars.
out where to go. And as far as we know some, but we are looking for the island of Yonder.
Hmm. Okay.
Sometime I will have to just come by and see you and not have a request for information, just to say hello at this point.
It's okay. We really do get asked for things literally all day, every day. Kind of an occupational hazard. I will tell you where the island of Yonder is, but you have to let me flex my muscles a bit about the constellation. Because that
And I'll
one...
close the door and sit down on the floor, like cross-legged, hands in her lap, like a student.
When the Dragonlords first arrived, there was much strife between the newcomers and the native races of Thylea. We know this. Blood was spilled, but none reveled in the slaughter of warfare as much as Estor Arcalander, who was the general of the Dragonlord armies. In one brutal battle, he wiped out every remaining Gygan warrior to the last. After the massacre, the children of the Gygans prayed to Sidon and Lutheria for protection. Moved by their plight, the great titans rallied the centaurs, the nymphs, and all the native races. They attacked the settlements of the Dragonlords across the islands in retaliation for Estor Arcalander's crimes. The First War had begun. And at this time, the native races named what became to be known as the Second Constellation. In the stars to the east, you can see the figure of a six-armed, one-eyed giant, the Gygan, marking their way home if ever they should get lost in their many wars upon the seas and land. Now, as far as the Isle of Yonder itself, where to begin? I'll keep this brief. I know you're busy. The island was once the ancient capital of the Gaigan Empire that once dominated much of Thylia. They were already in decline when the Dragonlords arrived, but whatever remained were wiped out in the First War. The Gaigan communities and forts on yonder were raised by the Dragonlords in the last days of the struggle. As they've gained in power over the last few decades, the Order of Sidon has made the island their main base of operations. The few Gaigans who still lived on this island were eager to work with the Order and thereby gain favor with Sidon. They believe that this, perhaps, is a chance to return to the glory of their ages past. So, expect to find ruins, expect to find a lot of Order of Sidon, some Gaigans. Yeah, that about sums it up.
And a whole lot of resentment to anyone holding the name Dragonlord.
I think that's an understatement, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Rage?
Sure.
Would rage be better? Right. Thank you. Sometime on our way, perhaps when we have a moment, I would love to hear the whole story.
Mm. Of course, we have many nights. And, I'm sorry. If you have questions about any of the other constellations, I'm always happy to talk about the stories behind them. Although, I don't know all of the islands that belong to them. That never interested me very much.
Alright. Oh, thank you. You'll certainly be getting those questions.
Toodaloo.
Yep. Up, bow, go. Head up and just go, Gaigan!
Well, that was easy. All right.
Apparently, if we have any questions later, Lady Kira knows pretty much every constellation. Does not know all the islands, but knows every constellation.
All right. All right.
Also, apparently, it's a Gaigan because there are Gaigans on that island.
Oh, fuck.
And they're working with the Order of Sidon in a hope to reclaim some of their former glory.
That makes sense. Because we ran into a Gaigan at Demetrius' place.
Yeah. It was apparently the seat of their former empire.
So is that where we're headed?
I believe so.
Yeah, seems like our best option.
Shall we go find our captain and get the ship running?
Okay. Yeah, I guess we should run this by the captain and then I can chart us a route.
Oh, Captain. Captain. Hello?
It's you, Ari.
I will go quickly down. This is me just for fun, totally here. I'm gonna go down to the captain's quarters. I will hear noise. I cannot tell what kind of noise it is, but it's noise. I just lean through and go, Lycus, can I command the ship? If you're busy. And I will hear a sound that sounds like a yes, so I come back up.
There you go.
Perhaps it was just multiple yeses.
Have to ask later.
I had to. Lycus is busy. So, I guess I will.
Okay.
No.
Well, we need a course charted.
So,
So-
am I on? I'm on the boat right now. Yeah, I guess so. So I would need to like disembark. Can I do this on the dock, or do I need to like actually like have my feet on ground?
Dry land.
All right, I'll like trot my ass over to like dry land. Look through the thing, look for the guy again.
Okay. As you pick up the Antikythera, you look through the viewport, and you see that something about the way the viewing port is enchanted or devised, all sunlight disappears, and you see nothing but black sky and thousands of twinkling stars. It takes a second for you to find one constellation so that you can then scan for the next, and eventually you lay eyes on the Gigan. You turn the numeral to where it is. You see where that numeral is. And that numeral is associated with numeral 1, oddly enough. So from now on, you know that if you dial into numeral 1 and you look through the viewport, the lens will flare when you are aiming in the direction of the Isle of Yonder.
Okay.
So, and using that, that's what can help you navigate by talking to the captain.
Okay.
All right. So you've got a direction.
All right. I will take that direction to Euron.
I have no idea what to do here, but
So since you're not the actual captain, you can take the wheel. Basically, he's giving you permission to take the wheel.
all right.
Okay. So, as you raise the sail of the Ultros and begin to leave the harbor of Mitros, you are saluted by a roar of excited cheers from the gathered crowd. From the docks, admirers attempt to throw flowers and small trinkets onto the deck of your ship, all tokens of good luck. And as you sail past the Colossus of Pythor, onwards towards the horizon, a gentle breeze carries a sound of music from the city, as songs of great deeds are sung, and heartfelt prayers for the heroes of the prophecy are chanted. Your voyage has begun. We have a little bit of time left, so I would like to see what happens on the way to the Isle of Yonder, if anything, if y'all are game.
Yeah.
Alright. So, first question. As you begin this voyage, as you depart the land, are there any sacrifices to be made?
Not today.
Okay.
It's the first day of the journey. You can't have a precedent where we're gonna be sacking every day.
Sacking?
Maybe you should sack the first day.
Sacrificing, whatever.
Maybe it should be a start and be like you sack the first day and see how long it lasts.
So, pick a lucky person. That person needs to roll me a d20.
Nose goes.
Oh, that was close.
I'll do it. Fine.
Alright.
And we're off. 11.
11. Alright. Now I need you, or someone else, to roll me a d100. Which is 2 d10s. Or the double 100 is all the way on the bottom right.
Nose goes. Come on, guys.
I'll just do it. I already rolled once.
Okay.
Can't change now. 86.
Alright. Let's see if anything happens.
We just ran into a kraken, guys. Let's go to battle.
If anything, if we're passing by Corvidus, we're gonna find Sella.
So, the beginning of the day, reaching into high noon, is relatively undisturbed. The sun is bright, the sea air is refreshing, and the Ultros rocks gently as the sails pick up steam, and you rush headlong into the infinite waters of the Cerulean Gulf. Shortly after midday, as many of you are sitting down to eat lunch and finally get truly acquainted with the ship, you begin to feel a vibration, almost as though a low rumble emanating throughout the ship. Moments later, You okay? Just making sure you're okay.
I just wrote in chat. All I just said was Corey.
Moments later, off the left-hand side of this ship, you see 7 massive whales with huge eyes, thick fins, and 2 blowholes breach the surface of the water, rising up, their enormous bodies slamming halfway down into the water with gigantic splashes. The entire massive Ultros rocks left to right, each one. And then soon on the right-hand side, more whales. As they open their mouths, you see razor-sharp teeth. And one of the creatures has the corpse of a colossal squid in its jaws. You watch them with interest, with trepidation. Despite their ferocious appearance, the creatures seem to show little interest in your ship outside of passing curiosity. After several minutes breaching, splashing, rocking the ship, they subsume once again and disappear from sight. The rest of the day passes calmly, and so does the first night. More blue skies and blue waters the next day, and on the morning of the 3rd, as the sun rises in the east, painting the sky in glorious pastels of yellow and orange, you see land on the horizon. As the Isle of Yonder comes into view, Aesop approaches you. Rewind. Lorius approaches you, Cyanus, with a letter from Aesop. Everybody was busy, and you were awake and staring off into the sunrise, so Aesop asked me to give you this once you finally set sail, and we're well away from Mitros.
I appreciate it, I guess.
He hands you a little scroll of parchment with a black ribbon on it. And you can find that in your player handouts.
Under letter from Aesop.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You gonna sit on that? I'm just curious.
I
just didn't want to move. I didn't want to move on and blindside you.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on that one at least until Josh comes back.
Okay, no problem. So, with Lycus standing on the deck, his hand on the mainmast, Euron up by the wheel, Ina crouched on the deck, looking at the isle with a ferocious look in her eye, sharpening the axe of Xander, and Renatus absorbed in one of his many books.
One of the new ones. Definitely.
The next chapter begins. And that's where we're going to end. So we can pick up there next time, hopefully with a much healed Lycus, to see what happens. Alright, so everybody, thank y'all for hanging out. Much love as always. Early work in the morning and people not feeling well, so we're going to cut it pretty much on time.
Yeah.
If you haven't done before, please check out all the links below. Spread the word to your friends. All the good streamer stuff I don't want to have to go over and over again because I respect you more than that. So do all that stuff. And I'm gonna try and have the Hearts of Shadow campaign started going to YouTube this weekend, so I can I'm gonna push those there, hopefully. And that's about it. So until next time, either in Discord or Wednesday or next Friday, we love you all. I hope you take care of yourselves and you had a great Thanksgiving and you have a great holiday season coming up. And stay safe, hug each other, and take care. Bye, guys.